Hi there, it's Karna Live Now again. I'm so grateful to be here with you. And today we're going to talk about why do we want to have a marketing ecosystem over a marketing funnel? I mean, this is a great question. People have been teaching funnels for years and years and years. So why don't we just stick with this proven concept and just like power through and use these funnels? Well, here's the truth. The practices that are put in place that led us to the marketing as it stands today, our current marketing culture, where does it actually come from? So when we look at history and we look at lineage of commerce and selling and buying, we know now that marketing is actually coming from a deep, rich history of colonialism, then racism, and capitalism and heteropatriarchy in short. So these are all big terms. Like, who even cares about these things, right? I do. Because the end result of when we have a more extractive capitalist culture or a patriarchal culture that values winning and power over other people is that we end up with business practices that are toxic, confusing, extractive, and frankly, there's a lot of losers on the other side of that. So here's the real reason why we should be looking at exploring what a marketing ecosystem can do for us instead of a funnel or instead of old patriarchal values and structures informing how we do business and marketing, is that we want justice. We want a more just, equitable, and prosperous ecosystem for all. And I'm talking globally. So how we do one thing is how we do everything, right? So we really need to look at who are we, like at the soul level, because the marketing ecosystem actually is centered around one thing, and that is your soul gifts. Marketing is really about taking, understanding, uncovering your soul gifts. And this takes a lot of deconditioning, a lot of healing, a lot of shadow work often. And that's kind of the people that come to me that want to do marketing differently, the people who've tried all these other things, or they don't even want to try it because it doesn't feel authentic to them, because it isn't made for you. And I identify as a highly empathetic person. I deeply care about the future of humanity and this planet, and I deeply care about people, and I want to give my gifts in a way that it feels authentic, in alignment with who I am, and that I actually am aligning myself with others that need what I have to offer. That's what marketing is all about. And so today we're going to explore, and I'm going to talk about the importance of a marketing ecosystem, because I want you on board. I want you on my team. I want us to figure this out together. I want to innovate, because what ended up happening is that there's a lot of innovation that had gotten lost because we kind of been operating off of a status quo. But that is all changing now. And now a marketing ecosystem is more connected to, as you can hear, it's an ecosystem. It's connected to nature, to cycles, and how things actually operate and thrive outside of sort of our human only world. What is out there is an incredibly intelligent ecosystem that we all participate and live in. And bringing that into a marketing perspective can be incredibly empowering. So, how do we do that? Well, in your marketing ecosystem checklist, I have identified these certain areas. And I want to talk about what ends up happening if we don't have all these piece components of the ecosystem working together. And these are the leaks that I've been sharing about, what I talk to you about in this ebook. When you do not have certain of these components in the ecosystem, the machine of your business or the whole as it is, it starts leaking, and the energy and the time, the energy and the efforts that you're putting in are leaking out somewhere. Let me explain. Let's start from the top. So on the checklist, you'll have the first thing that you have to have is a powerful website, okay? So let's say that you don't have a website that is easy to navigate. And this is something that happens to a lot of people. Maybe they have been in business a long time, or they don't really know how to structure a website. So they ended up putting a ton of stuff onto their website. And there's 10 tabs and drop downs, and there's different call to actions what's called CTAs, calls to action, they are very conflicting. So a website can be very confusing. So it's really important that the foundation of your ecosystem, your website, is streamlined, functional, easy to navigate, beautiful, clean, and speaks a very clear message and shows what problem you solve in the world. When your foundation, when your website, let's say there's too many tabs, it's confusing for the user. We don't necessarily want to optimize for the fact that people have, these days they're like, people have an attention span of only 3 to 10 seconds or something like that. Well, what I found is the people that find me actually spend time more than that with me, but not if I have it very confusing. So let's say if the website isn't optimized correctly, and if it doesn't load, you'll lose people. Like if your website doesn't have, you're going on the mobile, you're clicking, they can't get to it, it's not mobile responsive, or it doesn't load quickly, people will leave. So that even if you got people to go to your website, now they're bouncing or they're not participating because they get overwhelmed. So that's one example. The next one, let's talk about it. So now they're on your website and you don't have a list builder, or what people call a freebie. I like to call it a relationship builder. But let's say you don't have a way for people to get on your email list. Now you send people there, they're not ready to buy, but you don't have a way to incentivize them to get on your list. And no matter what people say, people on Facebook like to say, this is dead or this is dead, and just to sell their own thing, they say that all the other things are obsolete or doesn't work. Not true. But one thing that most marketers will agree is that your list is the most powerful thing that you can have, because you own that. You can email people directly. It's a very intimate way to build a relationship. So if people don't have a way to get on your mailing list, then you're losing the steam in your system, right? Your ecosystem is leaking there. It's people are coming, but they don't know how to get on your list. So that's one way I can explain a leak. And then another super common thing that happens is, okay, so you have a list builder, but then maybe there's just one email delivering that, but you don't have an automated email series that comes after that. Also super problematic, because if you don't have a marketing strategy where you are consistently emailing people every week or so, every 2 weeks, then maybe people will come on your list and don't get an email from you for 9 weeks or 2 months. And they're like, who is this person? And they unsubscribe. That's a loss. So it's really important that we have an optimized email series that's attached to your freebie that people really can learn about you. So in the checklist, there's like the things that you need to have. So hopefully what I'm doing now is I'm illustrating to you the importance of having all these things dialed in. And now I will tell you something, I can get excited about this stuff. The freebie or the list builder, relationship builder. Okay, so let's say you have one, but it's not actually, let's say that your signature offer or your core program is a 9-week gut healing course. Who doesn't need that? Everybody. So it's a 9-week gut healing course, but your freebie is the best supplements to boost your immunity. Okay, so you got people to opt in, but they're not necessarily going to follow through and want to buy your signature program. So you want to make sure that your list builder, your freebie, is aligned with what you're really wanting to sell. So that's another leak. So see what I'm talking about here? There could be so many components, and I'm very passionate about helping people understand what are the components of a thriving ecosystem. I've been working in marketing in every capacity that you can imagine, thousands of hours, multiple roles, and I've just come to isolate, all these different components are what it takes. I'm like, I want to give you exactly what it takes, no more, no less. I want you to be successful, and by doing your checklist and identifying the components that are missing in your ecosystem, hopefully I've sold you on that idea that you need an ecosystem, not a funnel, and that we can continue this relationship, and I get to teach you all these things on what it takes to have a thriving ecosystem for your business, and in doing so, have more ability to give your soul gift to more people, and that way that we can really work toward creating a more just, equitable, fun, and thriving world for all. I know, kind of a lofty goal, but where is it going to start if not with us? I hope this video was helpful for you. I'm sending you lots of love, and I can't wait to keep going on this journey with you.